Being a dentist is equal parts awesome and annoying, fun and frustrating. We get to help people chew and smile with confidence, and we also get to listen to a lot of complaints. That's the reality of working in a dental office. Being a dentist and Talking Nachos is designed to help you increase success, decrease stress, and most of all, reduce the number of times you feel like crying inside a day. Because that's where dentists have to keep their crying, on the inside part of their body. So we interview amazing key resources and sponsors that do fantastic things in an industry to help you become a happier dentisting human, help you help more patients, increase profitability, and make being in your office more fun. So you're going to hear from awesome key resources and sponsors today. Before we start with that, I want to share with you, I love Facebook, I love social media, but hanging out face to face is so important. And we have a Dental Nachos Fall CE Conference coming up. My team can put the text code up. We have the amazing Dr. Travis Campbell coming to Center City, Philadelphia. Travis is an insurance expert, and he is going to teach you how to de-annoyify your insurance life. Whether you are in network with 47 spoiled guac PPOs, or you are totally fee-for-service. You could be so fee-for-service, you make your patients pay a year ahead of time. They're still going to ask about insurance. Travis is going to teach you that. We're going to have me, Dr. Nacho, helping you treatment plan your patients and talk to them in ways that make sense. Communicate clearly. Don't make them feel weird by calling teeth hopeless virgin failures. Instead of saying your teeth have failed, try it's time to retire. You're going to learn how to communicate, talk about money and more. And then we're going to have the amazing Dr. Todd Fleischman share with you how to build a fee-for-service dream team. Todd has one of the most fantastic practices I've ever seen. His team gets along. That is not easy to do, but he changes lives both inside and outside of his operatory. And he is going to help you learn how to start to build a fee-for-service dream team. So if you would like to become and be part of this event, hang out with us in Philadelphia. Fun, food, friends, learning, make new friends. Just text Travis to 215-543-6454. And I want to give a shout out to my friend Gary Bird, because when I was on his podcast, he was on a walking treadmill. I bought one of these walking treadmills myself, so I can de-dad-bodify myself while I'm at work. If you would like to find out about how to get this walking treadmill, they're not a sponsor, but maybe they will be one day, just text WALK to 215-543-6454, and my team will text you back the model that I have and Gary Bird has. So I'm ready for my first guest on Talking Nachos. So I got to meet the awesome Jordan face-to-face in Arizona. What he does is so valuable. Proud to have him as a sponsor. Jordan, just introduce yourself and your company, and what do you guys do to increase success and decrease stress for dentists?
Nice. What's up, everybody? My name is Jordan Comstock, CEO of BoomCloud. We help decrease stress by helping practice owners create passive income through membership plans. So that's my main focus.
So I love this topic. I love the membership club. Just because we have so many people on this nacho plate, from D1 dental students to people who've been a dentist as long as I've been alive. Can you just break down what is a membership club?
Yeah, I think
a practice. Just give us the most fundamental definition of what a membership club does.
Yeah, easy. Think Amazon Prime, but for patients' teeth. Patients pay an automated monthly or yearly subscription to the practice in exchange for benefits and savings to the practice.
Awesome. Now, if we just kind of marry or add in the topping of how does BoomCloud facilitate that for dental practices?
Yeah, so BoomCloud is a software platform that helps practices create and organize and automate a membership plan. So patients sign up through our platform. We help practices create the plans. And there's a lot of different types of plans that you can create for subscription revenue. But that we help manage it, automate payments, even help find uninsured and inactive patients to join the membership plan with our integrations.
Awesome. I'll share authentically. I wish I started my membership club earlier, but what it helps you do is it bonds dentists and patients together, because there are plenty of patients. You know, we talked about insurance, and I still work with insurance. Currently, we're out of network, but people ask about insurance. But for patients who do not have insurance, it's an amazing opportunity to get them to bond to your office. They renew their membership. They love it. Now tell us, what do most practices do with membership club? Do they offer a discount on cleanings? Let's talk to the dentist who says, I'm interested. You can put, Jordan's text code up, text boom to this number. They contact you and they say, hey, Jordan, I want to get started. How do they usually design the membership club? I know there's a lot of different ways. Give me a common one.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways. So the most typical membership plan out there is a preventative care plan where the patient gets, hygiene, cleanings, exams, the basic, and then basic maintenance, right, for the patient, and then they get discounts off of restorative care, right? And there's a lot of different plans out there. One plan that we're seeing that's kind of lighting up in the industry are unlimited whitening subscription plans, and that's been a new hot thing that's growing, which is kind of cool. But that's the kind of what they look like. Typical range in pricing for the patient, it can go from anywhere from $300 a year to $500 with a preventative care plan. But that's kind of what they look like out there in the industry.
And then what it does, and my numbers I give are for informational purposes only. You can't talk numbers with dentists. You say Starbucks costs $8. They say it costs $2 where I live. It costs $4 somewhere else. So I'm just going to share, like, hey, if the preventive care in your office and X-rays and limited oral exams and emergency exams cost $900 a year, you may have a membership club that they pay $600, so they get immediate savings. Sure. And then they save 15% off on everything else. Is that some kind of a simple way that an office might do it? Yeah,
that's a simple way. And then, to your point, demographics are a huge thing in regards to pricing, and we look at that with our practices as well, help them design their plans.
I say that dentists are very unique people, which is another word for weird. But we went to school to be weird. You signed up to work with us, so you might be the weirdest of all.
Yeah, probably.
Dentists are also what I like to call spectacularly cheap. Okay, magnificently frugal. Okay,
sure.
So let me just lob a few challenges. Hey, Jordan, this sounds great, but why don't I just do it myself? Like, why don't I just keep track on a piece of paper, Excel spreadsheet? Why do I have to pay you any money to do this, right? Share with us the challenges of the do-it-yourself without using some company to help you.
Yeah, well, if you value your time, that's the first thing, right? You want systems that help you scale anything in the practice, whether it's a CERAC system that helps you, create crowns, or a system like BoomCloud that helps you automate and scale your membership plans. So systems help you scale. It's definitely a volume game. If you're managing it on your own, most likely you've got revenue that's lost because you're not automating payments. A lot of the times you see even practices give away free restorative care or not free, but discounted restorative care without that patient being an active member, because the do-it-yourself model is challenging, especially because it's a volume game, right? You want to get hundreds to thousands of active membership patients on your membership plan. And if you're managing it manually, there's no way. And in addition to that, you don't want to treat this like how insurance treats you guys, where it's a headache to run. So that's kind of the things we think about, at BoomCloud and talking to our
customers. Which are really good ways, because we know things fall through the cracks. We know that happens. We know laziness happens. So anything that you can do, especially with renewals and people thinking about it. I mean, I am really impressed and pleasantly surprised how many people just renew every year, right? It's not a big decision. So if you're a dental practice and you can just have this conversation once and say, hey, here's the value of this membership club. If someone bonded to you for decades, and it's such a valuable thing to do. So I know, Jordan, you deal with dentists, I deal with dentists, right? I deal with patients on some days, dentists the other. I'm going to come, if I was reincarnation, I want to sell cupcakes when I come back. Nobody complains about a cupcake, right?
No.
Give us some of I know you deal with feisty dentists, and to dentist defense, we're always trying to get sold stuff and process. Dentists have so many vendors. So tell us the success story of someone, Dr. Smith, being like, I wasn't so sure if this would work, and now they have 800 people. Or just tell us some of the small, medium, and large success journeys for some of your customers. You don't have to say their name, but just sort of some stories.
Yeah, so totally. Some of the most successful customers that we deal with generate about $75,000 in monthly recurring revenue from a membership plan, which is super powerful for their practice, meaning they can do dentistry or not and still generate revenue, right? They can go to Hawaii on vacation and still have revenue pumping into the practice. And that's what I'm all about, making sure that practices have a solid revenue model that allows them to generate, passive income or recurring revenue. So that's one of the largest ones that we're working with. There's actually a lot of practices that are doing that these days.
Yeah.
Because and they started not having a membership program and utilizing our system to help them scale it. And back to the do-it-yourself model, you can't scale it if you're manually doing these things. And most importantly, that predictable recurring revenue, whether it's yearly or monthly, is so crucial for the business. And it actually helps increase the valuation of a business because of the nature of that.
And also, I just want to share, it's a hot potato of annoyance in the dental office. Hey, dental assistant, take back this patient who doesn't want to open. Haha, dental front desk, now deal with their insurance. Hey, dentist, deal with this. So what I want to share is this de-annoyifies your front desk. If our front desk tried to also manage our membership club, I would be like, it's cool if you quit. I get it. We just make your life too stressful. So make it easy on your front desk to have these conversations in a way to look forward to. So I love it, Jordan. As we wrap up, people can text Boom to 215-543-6454 to learn more about what you do, take a demo, get your ebook. What I like to go from awareness, attention, just find out, and momentum.
Sure.
When someone reaches out, what happens? Do they jump on a Zoom call with you? Do they watch a video? How do they get on board?
Yeah, so it really depends on how they're coming. If they're coming to our website to get our books and courses, they go through that. But yeah, our team, if you schedule a demo, we have a team of people that will consult with your practice and show you a demo of Boom Cloud, as well as talk about what your goals are and what the opportunities that are being missed in your practice in regards to setting up a membership program and creating predictable recurring revenue. So they would do a demo. And then after you sign up, we have a whole customer success team that will onboard you. They'll help you create a plan based off of your demographics within your, zip code, and help you create the plan, and then show you how to use Boom Cloud once you integrate it to your practice management system, how to use Boom Cloud to scale and communicate to your patients that you have a membership plan, and get patients to sign up online via our tools.
Awesome. Well, I love what you're doing. You're part of the 3 L's of Dental Nachos. Let's learn together, laugh together, and be less annoyed together. Learn, laugh.
I love it.
I don't know what happiness is, Jordan. That sounds very complicated. I know what annoyance is. That's great. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah.
Jordan. You're awesome.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. So that was one of my favorite topics. It's such a great show. We're going to be talking about something that dentists truly love next. I'm ready for my next guest when my team is ready to bring them up. All the way from the UK, Thomas Saley of Smile Fast. Thomas, share with us. Love the name of your company. I know what you do. Dentists are going to go nacho nuts for it. What does Smile Fast do to help dentists?
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me. What does SmileFast do? SmileFast makes your life so much easier. So what we have done in the UK is we work like you guys. We're at the treadmill. We're working literally at the treadmill like you are there, working all the time.
I know, very impressive, aren't I, Thomas? I'm constantly going, right? I like that.
This is it. We all are. We never stop. And, I was in that position. I was working very, very hard. I was trying to be the best cosmetic dentist I could be. And it takes it out of you. You're constantly trying to better yourself. And every time you go on a new course, you learn more. Your expectations on yourself are heightened as well. So it becomes harder to reach your own expectations. And it's a stressful place to be. And I think most dentists have got to that point in their career at some point where they just think, I can't keep pushing myself more and more and more because there's nothing left to give.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of us were in the UK. And so SmileFast came along, and it was an idea that came about to create a more streamlined, a more cost-effective, and a more efficient way of delivering high-end cosmetic dentistry. So what we did was we took existing concepts and we created a stent, and this was the revolution, I suppose, that has swept across the UK and Australia. We created a stent that actually has pre-separators in the stent itself, which means that after you do a trial smile and you've designed the perfect smile for a patient, you can actually fill the stent with composite resin, and place it onto the teeth, and you can restore all 10 teeth in one go. As soon as the stent's removed, all the teeth are individually already separated, and all you have to do is clean around the margins, give it a little polish, and it's done. So it takes what was traditionally an incredibly time-consuming and skill-dependent procedure that only, let's say, a small proportion of dentists could do and do well, and we've suddenly given every dentist the tool to deliver this to their patients. So now we've got dentists who can offer their patients something perhaps they weren't able to before, and they can do it at a time frame that fits in with their day-to-day work, and they can cost it appropriately. So it then becomes accessible to patients. So this type of treatment, you know, a 10-unit smile makeover case, be it in ceramic or in composite, would have been a lot of money. I mean, there's not a huge amount of patients out there that would have been able to afford that, whereas now they can, because we've condensed down that time. We've made it so accessible and so efficient.
I mean, I love this because what you're doing is, you know, you're helping dentists do what they love to do, help people smile. But I mean, I'm totally with you. Doing this, handcrafting each one of these things meticulously is only a skill set that very few dentists can achieve. And then it becomes nearly impossible to make money doing it. And I'm not an expert business person, but if you don't make enough money, you can't help any patients if your office goes out of business. So I think what you've done, and actually as you were talking, this company popped into my mind that I use every day called Canva. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but they basically have given any company marketing tools to make these amazing marketing pieces that were not available to the everyday company before. The founder is from Australia. She's great. And I just think you're basically creating a fun way for, you know, dentists to help their patients. Let's break this down a little bit more. Let's bring up the text code comments, because you guys, we are doing a gift away of a spot in your course. Learn more about it. Let's say someone says, I'm sold, Thomas. I kind of wanted to do the next thing with Smile Fast. I know you guys are a new company. What's the next thing? Like if someone texts in and they learn more about you, do they get a kit? Should they come to a CE course? Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the course in the UK, we started just before COVID. So there was a lot of excitement, and then COVID came along, and that was it. Everything just shut down. And then there was about a 6-month period where there were no courses that happened. When we restarted doing courses, we ended up doing 27 course dates consecutively to fulfill the demand because of the excitement that was around the course, and it's continued since then. So in the last 3 years, we've trained about a third of UK dentists on this concept, and the course itself has been designed so it's about 85% hands-on, and I think that's quite unique within the CE market, because we send all the preliminary evidence and the rationale behind SmileFast, all the things you need to understand. We send that as a video, as like an interactive video beforehand. So you get about 4 hours of video ahead of the course where you can find out about the concept. There's a couple of little MCQs afterwards, you know, multiple choice questionnaires. So it's interactive. You learn a bit about the system, and it means on the day when you come to the course, you haven't got to sit there, you know, bored for the first 3 hours whilst we tell you about it, because you already know about it and you get straight into it. And we actually do practice 2 different techniques. So we learn how to craft and replicate actual real life anatomy of an anterior tooth. So we'll teach how to do that using special drills and special techniques. That's completely independent. That's just a bonus. And then we get into SmileFast itself, and we're actually going to place on a Typodont sort of similar to this. We'll place a real SmileFast stent with 6 veneers, and they get to follow the whole protocol. Place it, cure it, remove it, finish it, and at the end they'll have a smile makeover.
That's awesome. I think that's such a great way to learn, when you can touch the stuff yourself, but also get that. And you know, as we wrap up, you are inviting one of my favorite people. He's almost as funny as me, not as funny. Okay, he's a way better dentist. He's got that. I mean, Dr. Artie Volker. So you're going to have someone like this, because Artie's done CE on Dental Nachos about injection molding, direct composite veneers. So you're looking to get the United States leaders in dentistry to learn more about it. Is that, you know, a fair thing to say?
Absolutely. In the UK, we've got BACD, which is it's almost like a partner to your AACD, and there's only 14 accredited dentists in the UK who are fully BACD accredited, and of those, I think only about 50% of them actually still practice, and they are all using SmileFast, because it has just created a much more efficient workflow. So we've got dentists who are 2 years qualified and they're just getting into cosmetic dentistry. They're using the system because it creates, gives them the confidence that they can deliver these beautiful smile makeovers. And then we've got very, very experienced, very, very highly skilled dentists, such as Artie, who come to the system and see how simplified we've created it. And they think, well, there's no reason why I wouldn't use that in my practice, because it makes life easier for everybody and it brings the cost down to the patient. And if that means we can service more patients and change more lives, then that's the ultimate goal, I think, for us as dentists. Is that
it sounds like it's the 3 L's, Thomas: learning, laughing, and less annoyed together. You're a dentist. Plenty of annoyance that goes on inside of that operatory. So if we can make things more fun, and I really think it's cool as you wrap up that you're giving younger dentists a tool to feel better about what they're delivering, right? You know, I just think that's we were all young dentists. Confidence is difficult. Sometimes you kind of get the fundamental, another word for boring procedures, class 1 and class 2 composites. And so since I don't really do these procedures in my office, I would say to my associate, learn this. Maybe you can help someone, right? Maybe you make it your thing. And maybe that springboards them, Thomas, into learning a lot about cosmetic dentistry. So I really compliment you on that.
Absolutely. Thank you. I mean, that's what we've seen. We've seen so many dentists shift career paths because of this, because they've got the taste for it, and it's opened up this whole new revenue stream for their practices, and they've just switched gear and they're flying with it. It's brilliant.
Love it. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Can't wait to meet you when you come to the US. Really appreciate you being on.
Thank you. Thanks.
So our third guest is one of my favorite people. I always want to say this: bring me Addison's book from the outside. So you can bring up Dr. Addison Killeen, one of my favorite people. When you see him on, this is the workout program I'm on to make myself look like Addison. So you can bring Addison up to the screen here. Hey, Addison, I know you're between Addison life. Are you between patients, or what do you got going on?
No, just enjoying a non-clinical day. So I had a leadership development meeting with my team this morning, and then just doing other meetings this afternoon. So just trying to.
I like
the first L is learning.
Non-clinical days can be frustrating, but there's also like you just feel like my Zoom can't turn on. I can't see. You can't do that to a patient, right? They're only away from you.
Exactly.
So I have the book here, Addison. I wanted you to share in a minute, but Addison has written this amazing book on the Associate Dentist Manual for Success. Addison, what inspired you to write this book?
Well, so basically every time I come up with a book idea, it's basically to solve the most pressing questions that I always get asked on my coaching calls with clients and, messages from Facebook users and all that. And really a lot of us are experiencing growth post-COVID, and we're just like worked to the bone, and we're just like, oh, this sucks. So we want to hire associates. And as well, associates want to come to a practice where they're going to learn and, grow and develop. And so basically this book, it mostly serves the people that are hiring the associates. And it's just, this is how you should bring on an associate. This is how you should look for them, onboard them, hire them correctly, and build a success path for them so that they don't hate you and leave you in 6 months.
I like that. I want to pause you for a second. Nacho team, we make the DSN text code and we'll get people this book. We're doing a gift away. So if you text DSN to this number to learn more for our job, Addison, I found that sometimes there's mismanaged expectations and unrealistic expectations of a practice owner when they hire an associate. Does this book help with that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, and it's part of your own expectations, and you wonder, am I busy enough? And I'm going to hire this associate, my life's going to instantly get easier. That's not the case. The first 6 months, it is your job to coach this new dentist. Yeah. And they might already be a dentist of 10 years, but they just need to be coached in how you want things done. Because, dentists are weird. You and I can agree on that. Yeah. We're weird people, and we all get ruts in our ways.
We went to 4 years of school to become weird. We got a degree in it, right? We started as nice people who wanted to learn. Dental school made us cry. And on the other end, this is what we became, right?
Yeah, we don't have a bachelor's in weirdness. We have doctorates.
That's great.
So it's kind of, but if you bring in this person and you don't tell them exactly how you want things done, and you don't have weekly meetings and a cadence of accountability, and you don't have a follow-up system to know that their clinical dentistry is up to your standards or the way that you want things done. I mean, some people love using amalgam pins and some people think that they're crazy. So just however you do dentistry, you need to kind of follow up with that person to make sure they're doing the things the right way. So, these books that we, like myself and Dr. Costas, keep putting out is all built around these most pressing questions. And, I'm proud to say, like, my co-authors on the associate book, Dr. Jason Tanuri and Dr. Summer Casmel, are the most badass dentists that I know. And so, kind of from all of us together, it's the wisdom of, probably 30 to 40 associate dentists that we've hired, and hopefully not many of them we've had to fire, but just, it's a lot of wisdom gleaned in there.
I love that. I don't know if Jason's watching, but on page 187, you should have done a picture of him doing pull-ups on a volcano instead of this nonsense.
Yeah.
But Jason's been a Dentist Job Connect client. You guys can share how people connect Dentist Job Connect. I mean, here's one of the things, I'm a big Seinfeld fan, and there's a big thing of like, you don't know how to take the reservation, right? They didn't have the car for him. Just getting the associate is step one. And with this book, I mean, I might be the perfect parent, Addison, but maybe some parents need some parenting help when they have a child. I'm just joking. My 3-year-old is acting like a teenager. Would this be good for someone who even currently has an associate and wants to do better?
Oh, yeah. So even if you've already hired them and you're like, I need to hold them accountable now. Okay, well, this is the book that's like, okay, these are some systems. And it comes with all the downloadable templates of like, okay, this is the cadence for how we want to start checking, class 2s or crown preps or implants. And it just gives you, a bunch of the information to know that maybe what you're experiencing isn't all that infrequent. I mean, associates are dentists too, and they're weird like us. And so we can't expect them to come in and be perfect. We need to give them guidance and give them onboarding.
Totally. And, I am the most amazing dad. It was my mentor, friend. He passed away a few years ago, but I wanted to quit dental school midway through because I was really frustrated with it. And he said, Paul, do whatever you want to do. But I just want to let you know, one day doing the dentistry is going to be the easy part, and it's all the other stuff. So I want to share, I have associates. Most of the challenges come with team and patient management. Most of it come with, what do you say to that 78-year-old who said no to a crown 10 times to you and now thinks your associate's trying to rip them off, right? So there's so many things beyond holding the drill. Would you agree with that?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Dentistry is the easiest part of my day, my week. Like, I love doing clinical dentistry because I do the easy stuff. Like, yeah. I'm not interested in doing the crazy all on X cases or anything. I've got associates for that, partners for that. And so, I don't have to do anything crazy. It's the building leadership, building trust, and coaching these other associates to become killers in their own right so that they can feel successful. And so they hopefully don't ever leave me. Like, I'm going to be a clinger stage 5 once I develop a really good associate.
Right. Yeah. That's why when I lectured on it, I always said, I start off with sometimes something that happens good to someone else is terrible for you. Your associate says, hey, I bought a practice. Oh, hooray. And then you're just thinking, but when you have systems in place, like you teach, I think that is just so key. And, I know Mark and you say, be a systems dependent practice, not a people dependent practice. Yep. So you can replicate this. I have something to share with you. This was for me, Addison, but I'll share it with you because I like you. I think we should get AHA to sponsor it, and you could be Addison's AHA moment for, associate placement. We'll share it. Dr. Nachos, yeah. Addison's AHA moment. And I think that's what you're doing with this book, giving dentists AHA moments that it's harder to onboard an associate than you think. It's harder to keep it up. It's harder to manage the team with it. But when it goes right, share with us just for a minute about your life. When this goes right and you go from 1 associate to 2 associates or 3 or whatever, how does that really help you as a practice owner, whether it's do other things, whether it's have more time with your family? Share that with us.
I mean, it's for me, it's the vacation factor, so that when I take a couple days off, I know one of my associates can cover for me.
Yeah.
And so it's just being able to leave the practice. Now, as long as you're still a producer in the practice, an associate is usually about 50% of their revenues as pure profit to the owner.
Yeah.
And so if you're looking at hiring an associate, it's a really good financial decision, but it's not easy. Like, it's simple as long as you follow this book, but it's not necessarily easy. So, but financially it's really good as long as you can turn them into a good producer and team member on your practice. Because there's also this times when they're toxic and it's really bad.
Yeah.
So that's
and
where
it's all about that self-evaluation. Owners will call me up and say, Paul, my associate does this. Isn't it terrible? I go, that's normal, right? You're the one who needs to be refrained. Then on the other side, they might say, my associate is doing X, Y, and Z. I say, that sounds like it's going to be a problem. it might be best to invite them to work in a different environment if you're, because this. So I think you're doing the work of the Lord G.V. Black, Addison. It really is really impressive. Now, go ahead. I want you to go ahead.
Well, and the other thing is sometimes you hire an associate because you think you're busy enough, and then you don't give them any resources to succeed, or they don't give any marketing. And so this book does talk a little bit about the marketing aspect. And we just put out a new marketing book last week at the Dental Success Summit. So, that goes into like way deeper marketing techniques and strategies.
Such a key point. You have to have enough production, which I call pizza, to share. And too often dentists are making business decisions based on feelings, and that's worked out precisely never times, right? Because you say, I feel busy in this moment, and that's where you really, and when these things get mismanaged, disaster happens, but when they come together well, it really works out well. Before I wrap up, I want to do one thing. I was at the Dental Success Summit, love seeing you and Mark in person, love that weekend. Talk about the DSN. If someone's just scrolling by for the first time, what is the DSN? How do they join? What kind of value do they get out of it?
Yeah, so Dental Success Network is it's the private group that we've created, the software that includes continuing education, vendor savings, and a private community with coaching with myself, with Mark Costas, all of our black belt coaches, and other clinical faculty who are just amazing. And, of course, yourself is on there too.
I appreciate
and so, basically it's a positive, you are very positive, which I'm very thankful for. But this is also a positive community, private, just for dentists. But it pays for itself. It pays for itself through vendor savings. So if you want to learn more, go to dentalsuccessnetwork.com to sign up for a consultation. And basically, the reason we do a consultation with you is to make sure that we will instantly help you pay for your membership fee through vendor savings. And then it's like you get a community and CE for free. So
it's an awesome group. I love being part of it. You guys are doing awesome work with it. Stick around for a minute, Addison. I want to meet the other people. But everyone else on Talking Nachos, great episode. Really enjoyed chatting with you. Put up our Travis code one more time. Come to Philadelphia. Food, fun, friends, face-to-face interaction. This fall, text Travis to 215-543-6454.